guys, my name's Britt. Welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. What I talk about a lot on this channel is really deep topics like personal development, spiritual expansion, and mind-body-soul connection, awakening to this energetic being that is having a physical experience in this world around us. A question that I've been getting so much lately, probably more than anything else, is how do I start my own spiritual practice? Can you do a beginner's video on what a beginner's spiritual practice looks like? And immediately I was like, oh, I went back to a time where I had those exact same questions for people. I was reaching out a lot to other people and kind of not wanting to copy their spiritual practice, but it's like when you are brand new to an entire realm of life that you've never experienced before, sometimes it can be really overwhelming, and sometimes we just want to have a direct connection to what we know is going to be the most comfortable for us. And I think that this is a wonderful place to start the video. I am so sorry. I've been so inconsistent with my videos. I've been having a lot of internal processes going on, and I think that it's really healthy to take a step back from your personal creative projects sometimes, so that you can just gain a little bit more clarity and kind of give yourself a path and a direction to forge forward with. And that is where I feel like I am right now. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I'm in my backyard and there's birds. Dogs are very excited. Zorro! You little crazy boy, come here! Come here, Casito. What? What's up there? Look at the camera, you crazy? This is my mom's little puppy, Picasso. His name is Picasso. And my little boy. My big boy. You're stinky. At the beginning of my spiritual journey 3 years ago, I started practicing yoga, and I will definitely admit that one of the big reasons that I started practicing yoga was because I saw someone on social media who was pressing up into handstand, and my ego was like, oh my gosh, I want that ability. So I remember starting to look up on YouTube secrets to pressing up into handstand. And in my mind, I was like, there's a secret to everything. There's a way to short circuit everything in life. And I find this video of this chick who's pressing up, and she's like, oh my god, everything you need to know. And immediately I was like, oh, yes, like I'm about to find out the keys. The knowledge is going to be mine. So I click on it, and of course, she goes, honestly, there's not really a secret. It just takes a lot of dedication and discipline and hard work and effort and time and patience. And my heart just sank in that moment. I was like, no! This is exactly what I structured this video around. How is it that I start my spiritual practice? First of all, I want to start by saying that spiritual practice seems like a really compact and neat little present that you can give yourself and that you see other people with all the time, but there is so much complexity inside of what spiritual practice is for every single individual. Everybody has their own spiritual practice that is completely unique to them, to their story, to their experience. They happen upon practices that speak to them and resonate with them because of where they have been in their life. Doesn't that make sense? Because each of us are having our own unique experience being this energetic being here in this physical realm. So everything goes into that. And what I might say is the perfect way to start a spiritual practice, for example, giving my own personal stories on how I came to spiritual practice, doesn't necessarily mean anything to you, because you are a completely different human being with completely different experiences, thoughts, actions, decisions, and that's just not a very realistic way to go about starting something that you really want to be authentically yours. A really big factor on why we look to outside resources so much is because in this nation especially, we are constantly being fed information on what it is that we should be interested in, what music that we should like, the things that we should accept as normal. We're just constantly being fed from outside resources that are telling us what life is, what life isn't, what life is supposed to be about, what's responsible, what's irresponsible. And a lot of these can make us very distracted and actually disconnect ourselves from our true nature on the inside, and we stop looking to ourselves for answers because there are so many outside resources that are constantly bombarding our thought processes with, I already have the answer for you, dun dun dun, bing, magic. You don't have to think about life because we already thought about life for you, and this is going to be the best decision for you. Like, that is not truth. And I think that that's why we are seeing so much disconnection and so many people that are feeling super disconnected and having a hard time with authentic connection and formulating really meaningful relationships with people, whether they're intimate or friendships or whatever. It's because we're losing connection with ourselves. And the only way to really start gaining that connection back, maybe you just know what has spoken to you and you haven't had the courage to brave your own path and really start something that means something to you. Maybe you're afraid of what other people might think, or maybe you have really high expectations of yourself. Maybe you're a perfectionist and you just want things to be perfect, like right from the get-go, and it causes anxiety if it's not perfect. All of these things are totally normal, and most people go through them. I have totally been there. I will let you know right now. I have an extreme history with anxiety and perfectionist issues, control issues, and yeah, I'll just let you know that you're not alone in that at all, sister or brother. Hi. I've really found a lot of tools that I have in my spiritual practice toolkit that truly speak to me, and they provide me with so much answers and so many answers and internal wisdom, that ability to connect with my highest self. Whenever all of the crap falls away, all of the judgment, the expectation, the competition that kind of clouds our vision, it's like a little veil that's like keeping us from seeing ourselves clearly. We're able to know, we just know everything. Even whenever we don't know things and we're in a quandary and we're experiencing a low point or a valley in our lives, we still know that everything is perfect because we know that we're on this path for a reason. We have been presented with this lesson for a reason, and it kind of just allows you to have a lot more patience with life and the process of life, and understanding that the most meaningful and special and high quality things do take a lot of time to accumulate, and it just makes it that much easier to have patience. And I'm definitely not going to say that just because I have my spiritual practice that works for me, that I don't have hard days, that I don't have hardship as well. Life is never just going to be this perfect place that there are absolutely no issues and that you're never bothered by anything in the world. Even great spiritual master teachers say all the time, because their students think of them as like these holy, perfect beings, and they're like, no, we're not that. Go put them in a cabin in the woods with their family for a week. It's enough to drive anybody crazy. Life is still life. So I just want to let you guys know the things that I utilize most in my spiritual practice right now, the most meaningful connections for myself, which doesn't have anything to do with you or what might be perfect for you, but just sharing my own personal experience, what I'm utilizing the most right now. Gratitude practice, really powerful stuff here. Just sitting back and taking into account all the blessings that you have in your life, all the beautiful relationships that you have in your life, super powerful. Really accumulating those feelings that you get when you think of memories with people that are special to you, or just anything that you're grateful for. Really sitting and meditating on that. Whew, you feel like you're high whenever you get done. Astrology. I utilize the app Time Passages. You pretty much input your information and it will let you know the direct interactions that the current transit of the planets are having with your birth chart at the moment, and it's free. I'm so sad to say that yoga asana is not one of those right now. I've never experienced I've never experienced a hardship with my yoga asana practice like I'm having right now, actually, currently. It's so hard to get to my mat. But that's okay. Peaks and valleys. I'm not going to give myself too hard of a time because life is in constant flow all the time. And I know that I'm going to come back to my yoga asana practice eventually, when the time is right. My oracle decks. Oracle and angel decks are little pieces of guidance that I utilize in order to receive guidance. That's pretty much all it is receiving guidance. And whether it's a hardship that I'm currently going through in like a day-to-day thing, or if it's a more long-term, like how do I get out of this rut, or what is it that I need to be focusing on more. And the two decks are the Conscious Spirits Oracle deck and Doreen Virtue's Angel deck. Paso! Moon ceremonies. Huge. I actually just started facilitating. We just did our second month of moon ceremonies. The event is called Rise Sister, and I do it with my astrologer girlfriend Hannah, and it is incredible. I'm so happy that we started doing it. And if you're interested in maybe attending one of the moon ceremonies, the Rise Sister events, I'm going to have our information and our next flyer down in the description box below if you'd love to join us. It's actually hosted right here. I'm actually sitting right where we were sitting in the backyard of my house, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. A really, really great way to dive into the fears that are holding you back and really just having a burn ceremony, literally burning your fears and letting go. So those are the ones that I'm utilizing the most right now, and I've really been getting back into singing a lot. I'm feeling very called to share my voice in a lot of different ways, and it is super refreshing and revitalizing, and it just makes me feel like I used to feel when I was in high school on stage. Those are like the moments that I have so much joy in remembering, and I don't think that there's any reason that just because I am 10 years older now that I shouldn't still be doing the things that make my heart the most full. Does that make sense? We should always be doing that. There's no reason that we should get to a point where we're like, all right, I'm older now, I'm supposed to be serious in life, and you know, yes, growing comes with more responsibilities here in this physical world, but I still think that keeping yourself happy on the inside is number one for sure. Those are my spiritual practice tips. That is how to start your perfect spiritual practice. Just get into it. Just have fun. What are things that really speak to you? What are things that you used to really, really enjoy when you were younger? What got your imagination going? Was it like painting and doing creative things? Did you used to have imaginary friends? Did you used to sing a lot? What is it that really, really made your heart come alive? Those are really good starting off points. Whenever, just thinking back to when you were the happiest in younger years, that'll usually give a good indication on a spiritual practice to get going with. Yoga is a really, really massive system and science that has so many layers to it. And if yoga asana, the physical postures like vinyasa flow and hatha classes, are not really speaking to you, maybe try a different area of yoga. Maybe start getting more into kundalini yoga, meditation. There are so many different outlets and different types of classes if you're not just down to go and have like a vinyasa flow class. So many options. So if you have further questions for me, please, I'm begging you, please reach out and ask me. I would also love to do a Q&A question if you have more spiritual questions. I really, really love talking about this stuff the most, as you know. So if you have questions for me, please slide right into my DMs on Instagram. My handle is right down here. And other than that, I hope you guys have the most beautiful evening, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Once again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please make sure to do so just down here, and turn on the little notifications so that you don't miss any of my upcoming stuff. I am finally starting to get down with more organization so that I can be more consistent with getting videos to you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you in my next video. Love you. Namaste.